Welcome, explorers and mystery enthusiasts. Today, we embark on an extraordinary journey around the world to visit places that are anything but ordinary, places strictly forbidden to visitors. Only a select few scientists or politicians are permitted entry into these enigmatic locations. The reasons behind this prohibition are varied. Some are purely scientific, others political, while some border on the fantastical. We will traverse the globe, delving into the secrets of these places. Maintain your focus, for one of our destinations will astonish you, as the Greys or extraterrestrials once again play a central role. So, brace yourselves for a journey to the most forbidden places on Earth. We have previously explored strange and isolated places around the world in earlier episodes, such as Area 51 in the United States, with its terrifying and clandestine experiments, and the rumors and hypotheses that surrounded it. We also touched upon North Sentinel Island in India, with its primitive tribe known for its hostility. Our journey also led us to the Zone of Silence in the Mexican desert, an area where all radio waves, sound waves, and all forms of audible and visible communication ceased, earning it its name deservedly. However, these places, though among the most famous, are not the only ones shrouded in mystery globally, nor are they the only places forbidden to human entry. What we will present today may pique your curiosity and astonishment even further. Let us begin with North Brother Island in New York, United States. This island is one of the most isolated islands in America. Despite its location in the vibrant suburbs of New York City, it remains closed to visitors. The stated reason is to protect various bird species that have found a safe haven on the island after its official closure. However, there are hidden reasons that have indirectly made this island off-limits to tourists, and perhaps its dark history and notoriety have contributed to keeping visitors away. The island's story began in 1885 when city authorities purchased it with the intention of converting it into a hospital, later known as Riverside Hospital. This hospital was dedicated to treating infectious diseases such as yellow fever and measles, functioning much like a quarantine center for the infected. In 1905, the island witnessed a tragic incident that resulted in the deaths of over 1,000 people when a passenger ferry caught fire off its shores. In 1907, a woman named Mary Malone was admitted to the hospital. However, Mary was no ordinary patient. She was, unfortunately, the first person in America to be diagnosed with typhoid fever. This woman, who worked as a cook in homes, caused 7 families to contract typhoid. Tests proved that Mary was a carrier of the bacteria causing the fever, and the greater problem was that Mary appeared to be in perfect health. Mary was released from isolation in 1910 on the condition that she would not resume her cooking profession. However, she refused to believe she was infected, as she showed no symptoms, and therefore did not adhere to medical instructions, returning to cooking for families. Catastrophe struck. The infection spread from the families who employed Mary's services to neighborhoods and suburbs of the city. Mary was forcibly returned to isolation at the island's hospital in 1915, especially after she was responsible for transmitting the infection to 25 women at Sloan Hospital for Women. This time, the woman remained in health isolation on the island until her death in 1938 due to acute pneumonia. The hospital was closed for a period, then reopened after World War II to receive wounded soldiers from the war, and later it was transformed into a center for treating drug addicts, before being permanently closed in 1963, consequently turning the island into an isolated place. No one dares to visit, perhaps out of fear of the dark past it embodied. Now we move to Norway, specifically in the region located between Norway and the North Pole. A magnificently engineered building stands tall, catching the eye of anyone who passes by, yet only a select few, specifically scientists, are allowed to enter. The reason: over 1 million types of agricultural seeds from all over the world and from different eras lie safely on their designated shelves in the Svalbard Global Seed Vault in Norway. Also known as the Doomsday Vault, the idea for building this vault emerged in 1980, but it was not approved until 2001 under an official charter from the United Nations. This crucial reserve vault was finally opened in 2008. This vault, closed to the public, contains, according to the Times, an agricultural history dating back over 13,000 years, and it is indeed humanity's only hope in the event of a nuclear war or a global catastrophe that could wipe out all human needs for grains and crops. All countries worldwide, without exception or conditions, send seeds to this vault. The purpose is to preserve copies of these seeds for use in case any type becomes extinct, thereby maintaining a secure agricultural cycle. Gene banks, as they are called, or seed banks, exist in almost every country in the world, but this vault or storehouse is the central one. Indeed, the custodians of this vault have sent seeds to countries that suffer from wars or natural disasters, most notably Syria and the Philippines, among others. These countries replanted these seeds in their lands and subsequently sent samples and seedlings of these seeds back to the global seed vault. The reason for prohibiting public access to the vault is clear: to preserve the integrity of ancient and new seeds until their time of use, which we hope will not be catastrophic and imminent for humanity. From the North Pole to the Asian continent, specifically to its most isolated country, North Korea, this country, which is in itself controversial and shrouded in mystery in many respects, is known for a specific room. Yes, room. The term room might be metaphorical, as due to the scarcity of documented information from inside North Korea, it is impossible to ascertain whether Room 39 is a room, an office, a building, or even an organization. However, it is known that Room 39 is the reason for the luxurious life enjoyed by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and the elite surrounding him. In this room, according to unnamed sources for security reasons, all legal and illegal activities take place, and war plans, weapons, manufacturing, and other operations are managed. Room 39 was established in the 1970s by Kim Il-sung, the founding father of North Korea. This room is literally North Korea's primary source of foreign funds, as it is known to be under severe sanctions that prevent it from many sources of import, export, and other financial revenues. For example, from this room, Korean gold is exported to China, where it is sold as Chinese gold. And of course, the proceeds of the sale undoubtedly return to North Korea, and so on. Even drugs, whether through their various forms of manufacture or trafficking, have a share in the operations managed in this secret room. Of course, as mentioned earlier, the true nature of this room cannot be definitively determined from any aspect, for if its country is isolated, what then is its condition? We move to the Atlantic Ocean, specifically its northern part. There lies an island untouched by human foot except for a select few experienced and skilled scientists. Surtsey Island, near the southern coast of Iceland. Why all this isolation and caution? Simply because this island, according to scientists, is the newest island in the world. A series of eruptions, beginning on November 14, 1963, accompanied by ash and other minerals, over approximately 3 years, led to the formation of this island. This island is the first volcanic island where scientists have been able to study the entire life cycle from its beginning and from all its aspects on this new island. Therefore, for them, it is akin to a 100% natural laboratory. For this reason, and primarily to protect this scientific treasure, the Icelandic government has prohibited human visits to this island, with the exception of selected scientists with prior permission and at specific times. Even scientists' visits require extremely precise preparations. Equipment must be transported with great care to avoid any damage to the island's soil, especially any fuel leaks. Scientists cannot bring any animals with them or even plant seeds, so they and their clothing must undergo a thorough and complete examination to prevent them from bringing any traces of animal or plant remains from outside the island, and all waste produced must be taken back with them without leaving anything behind, so as not to interfere with the ecological cycle the island is experiencing. Indeed, scientists have recorded many discoveries about the beginning of animal colonization of this island, and the plants that have begun to root themselves in the island as soya. It seems that isolation and prohibition here serve the interest of science and knowledge, in particular, with the hope that the life cycle on this island will be completed, making it possible to visit and witness the birth of the world's newest island. And now we return to the United States of America, this time to a small town with a population of no more than 3,000, most, if not all, of whom are indigenous inhabitants. There is nothing in such a town that would warrant prohibiting tourists and visitors from entering. However, according to many sources, including Discovery Channel and others, this town, specifically a certain location within it, is heavily guarded and considered one of the most restricted places in the United States and the world. There is a complete secret laboratory beneath this city for conducting hybridization experiments between humans and animals, and between humans and extraterrestrials. Yes, you heard correctly. Of course, the American government and authorities deny this, stating that the isolation is because the town is a designated census area, just like many similar areas across American territory. But this particular area has become famous unlike any other. The story's beginnings, according to Discovery Channel, date back to the 1930s, when rumors began to spread about the existence of a secret base or laboratory beneath the city. However, the spread of the hybrid creatures and extraterrestrial topic truly began in 1970. In that year, a former New Mexico State Police officer named Gabriel Valdez informed the Santa Fe New Mexican newspaper about strange and unusual deformities in cattle herds. In one radio interview, Valdez stated that the evidence left at the site of the mutilated cattle was not from natural predators, as predators do not leave behind gas masks, adhesives, and other tools used in experiment. This man made other claims in various media outlets centered around his sightings of large black objects in the sky. His most prominent statement came in a documentary on the UFO Hunters channel, where he reported that during his investigation of the mutilated cattle, he discovered a dead cow with its fetus still inside, but the fetus was not a calf as would be expected. Instead, according to Valdez, it was a mixture of human, monkey, and frog, with a skull devoid of bones and filled with water. According to Valdez, the cow was carrying a strange, even terrifying, alien fetus. In 1979, a businessman named Paul Bitt, residing in a town near Tulsa, reported receiving electronic signals from a spaceship near Tulsa. By 1980, the man was convinced that the source of these signals was coming from beneath the city of Tulsa, and he began spreading rumors about the existence of a secret underground base inhabited by humans and greys. The news appeared in local media in 1983, spreading like wildfire among the community that believed in the existence of extraterrestrials. The topic of this base gained significant prominence in the 1980s across various visual and audio media, lending the story much credibility, and people began to believe it, especially since many individuals who worked or even lived in Dulce reported strange sightings. For example, in 1990, a former police officer who worked in Dulce, named Leo Sprinkle, stated that he personally saw a spaceship hovering over the valley and suddenly disappearing among the rocks. However, the most prominent statement regarding the secret base or laboratory came from Philip Schneider. This man, a seasoned demolition engineer who holds authorization to enter the most secret places by the US government, claimed that he helped build a secret underground base in 1979. Where do you think? Yes, in Dulce. Philip did not stop at this statement. He also reported witnessing a battle between extraterrestrials inhabiting the Earth's interior and humans, which resulted in 60 human casualties according to his testimony, and as reported by New Mexico Magazine in a detailed article on the subject. Of course, this topic, like many other topics related to secret experiments, hybridization, and extraterrestrials, has been largely ignored by the American government, and any explanation or justification will certainly be far from what is strongly circulated among locals and others. Just like Area 51 and other areas, Dulce and other mentioned areas remain shrouded in mystery, awaiting someone to decipher their codes and reveal the absolute truth one day. This concludes our exploration of some of the places forbidden to tourists and visitors around the world. Of course, these places and those preceding them are not the only ones whose access is restricted to only the elite of the elite. There are other places such as Snake Island in Brazil, the beautiful cave in France, and Terraquinchi in China, among others, which are also not open to tourists and the curious for one reason or another. These places and others are clear evidence of the extent to which reality intertwines with imagination. It is certain that the isolation of these places and the prohibition of their visitation have contributed in one way or another, fueling hypotheses and theories, especially conspiracy theories that attempt in one way or another to explain the reason for the prohibition of some of these places. And who knows, a day may come, however distant, when some truths about these places will be revealed to satisfy our curiosity and settle the ongoing debate surrounding them. As for us, we will remain vigilant for anything new, and naturally, you will be the first to know.